Hello, welcome to My Healthy Appetite. I'm Chef Leon Rotherer and this is Dietitian Bridgette Wilson. We are going to be showing you how to cook for a range of health conditions, gluten intolerances, dairy allergies, but with a special focus on low FODMAP cooking.
The low FODMAP diet is a diet that is commonly used for managing the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. In each episode we're going to discuss one of the common nutritional downfalls of following the low FODMAP diet and how to address this.
Up next for our fibre dish is going to be one of my favourite sort of cook at home meals that I do in the evening, super healthy, which can be vegan, it can be gluten free and is low FODMAP. I'm going to leave the peel on the vegetables.
So just giving it a good wash and then leaving the peel on so that you're maximising the fibre in that. It doesn't really matter what vegetables you use in this dish.
No,
it's
just
any of the low FODMAP ones you've got lying around in the fridge.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people think that they can't have cabbage for when they've got kind of digestive issues. It often gets the blame. However, actually they've tested it in the lab and it is a low FODMAP, except for Savoy cabbage. All other cabbages have been found to be...
Why is it Savoy? Do you know any idea?
It's just that within the lab, when they did the testing, it did turn out that Savoy cabbage had FODMAPs in it, whereas the other ones didn't.
And I've got garlic infused olive oil here because we're not allowed to eat the actual garlic, right?
No. So, and actually, if you are cooking low FODMAP, you shouldn't be making your own garlic infused oil. You should be buying one that's been commercially strained.
I'm also sticking some thyme in it. But to be honest, this is up to your taste. You could put some cumin seeds in it. You could put a little touch of curry powder, some rosemary, any of those nice aromatic herbs. I'm going for thyme and smoked paprika. Excellent, excellent product that just gives a lovely smokiness to things. So that's all I do, and I'm just going to mix it up, get my hands in there.
So we've got 4 different types of vegetables in there, 4 different colours. This dish, we're aiming for lots of fibre.
The last thing I throw in here is just a load of cherry tomatoes, and that's just going to create the sauce whilst we're cooking it. Here we go, look, I've got my lovely roast veg. It's been in the oven for about 20 minutes now. And as you can see, the cherry tomatoes have just all broken down. And I'm just going to put a little bit of fresh herb in here. Parsley. It's obviously low FODMAP as well.
Yeah, and if you really are missing that kind of oniony flavour, you could use chives in this dish, and that would work quite well, wouldn't it, to add that, because it's kind of one of your...
Or asafoetida as well.
Asafoetida, so that's that kind of onion flavoured spice. It's sometimes called hing.
So into my roasted vegetables here, I'm just going to put a couple of spoonfuls of this dairy-free yogurt replacer. And this isn't a flavoured one, so just plain. It's just going to add a little bit more sauciness, creaminess to the dish. Let's give it a mix. Look at that, it's looking lovely, creamy, nice. Excuse my double dipping here. I'm just going to put a little bit more salt. Taste it yourself. You could put a little squeeze of lemon juice if you want it a bit sharper, although the yogurt's helping with that. So if I put that to one side, I'm next going to work on the topping. I'm going to use a gluten-free ciabatta. I've just blended it, and we're going to do something that's called a persillade. What it basically means is it's a parsley crust. So into that, I'm going to add some more parsley. So I'm going to add some of my garlic infused olive oil into the breadcrumbs with the parsley. Just going to give it a very quick pulse.
So using a range of different kind of fresh herbs and things, that's just a really good way of adding flavour into low FODMAP meals.
Okay, so roasted vegetables here, looking all lovely and saucy. Got my persillade.
Yeah, and again, selecting a high fibre, gluten-free bread as well, so that we're adding even more fibre to this dish.
And I'm going to add a little bit of goat's cheese. So let's add some little dots of that about.
I haven't really cooked with vegan cheese before, but could you use that in a dish like this?
I would just leave out the vegan cheese.
Okay.
This dish doesn't need it. It's creamy, this is just a tasty extra.
Nice. So adding the goat's cheese, we're also adding a little bit of calcium to this dish as well, alongside the alternative to yogurt. So we're adding another nutrient to this dish as well as fibre, which is really good.
Check it out, there we go. I'm just going to stick that in the oven for about 10 minutes just to brown up. You could even put it under the grill, but I want to warm the whole thing through. Something all chefs get passionate about is knowing about spice blends. And one great one you can use in so many different things is Za'Tar Middle Eastern spice blend. I say spice, it's using toasted sesame seeds, which I've just toasted golden brown there. So I've got 2 tablespoons of the sesame seeds. I've got 1 tablespoon of sumac, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of marjoram, You want to be quite generous with the salt because like any spice blend, this is a seasoning. That's what it looks like. Already the smells are amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the citrus is really strong
yeah, it's
coming
really
out
good,
of that.
really, really good. And the thing is, I'm using dried herbs here because we want to blend it and make sure it lasts a while, you know. And I'm using a coffee blender, which are great for blending your spices. You could also do it in a pestle and mortar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add pretty much all of that, and I'm just going to keep a little bit out, a little bit separate, maybe a tablespoon. That's because I want a few whole sesame seeds and a little bit of extra texture in the blend. So let's put it into this little dish. You can have a look. Smelling really good. Aromatic from all the herbs. We've got a few whole sesame seeds in there for texture. So guys, check below for the recipe. That's my homemade Za'Tar. Alright, so I think my veggie bake's ready to come out of the oven. Here we go, goat's cheese is browned up. We've got crunchy breadcrumb top, creamy goat's cheese, roasted vegetables, and talk about rainbow.
Yeah, lovely colours in there.
Proper grub.
Quite a crunch on the top, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And then just to quickly finish off my brown rice. That was 100 grams of raw brown rice, so now 200 grams cooked. That's for two people.
That's for 2 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Into that goes my Za'Tar, a couple of spoonfuls of that. Actually, one of them is probably enough. It's already got salt in it, so I'll put one extra little twist. And then a squirt of lemon.
So with the brown rice, it's like it's quite hard to mess up brown rice in a way when you cook it. You cook it for about 20 minutes, I think you boiled it
20
for,
minutes
roughly?
to half an hour even, depending on
Yeah.
how rapidly it goes. But yeah, and personally, I love it. I choose it over white rice most of the time.
Yeah, much better for you. So this dish, when we analysed it, has actually got 14.7 grams of fibre per serving. So you're getting almost half of your daily requirements of fibre in this really good, nutritious, low FODMAP meal.
Yeah, all the lovely, creamy, soft vegetables. I love this. I could eat this every day. That concludes our high fibre episode for today, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.